Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Teresa, and today I'm going to be talking all about my lovely character Freya and her journey through Orilium Academy. Hey guys, I always feel really kind of silly talking about this, but it's fun though, you know, so if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there is a readathon that is hosted every year or twice a year now, I guess, by G at Book Roast, and it's like super immersive, super awesome. I mean, this thing is amazing. So last year, I believe, was the first year that she had changed it. It used to be Harry Potter themed, now it's just magic in general. My character, I'm not an artist, so I need to figure out, like, maybe I can like find pictures online or something of what I picture her like in my head. But she is like she's an earthling and a wood elf, I think, is her mixture. But anyways, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this is Readathon. It's kind of an RPG style. You create a character, you can kind of create all these different things about your character, and then you go to class and you have to complete the prompts in order to get the grades and get points and all this stuff. It's super fun. I will link G's video down below. She has really in-depth stuff where she talks about everything. So if you are confused, check that out. So, but the fun part is though, we can create our own character, and this is a character that will, like, you know, in an RPG game would like go to the school and do the things. And so my character's name is Freya, and like I said, she is half elf, half earthling, and she ended up not doing so well the first semester. Her very first semester, she had to take some time off for some family stuff, aka I had to take time off for some family stuff. So yeah, she is back at it, and she only missed one class in the spring, so she's trying to make that up this fall. And other than that though, she is raring and ready to go and excited about her classes. She is enrolled in the Beastmaster class, which basically, once you graduate from here, you are a Beastmaster. You know how to take care of, tame, work with all sorts of magical creatures. And she's also minoring, so she's majoring in that, and she's minoring in herbology, which is all about plants. And she's very passionate about holistic medicine, holistic care. So by being able to understand plant life, she'll be able to better take care of her animals. So that is the plan. As you guys can probably tell, I base this character very much on myself. So the way this works is we have in the autumn equinox, it is a lot tougher. You have to get a certain grade, and so we have O, Q, and D. O, I think it's ordinary, Q is qualified, D is distinguished. I think that's what that stands for. Okay, so the way it works is if you need a Q, or if you need an O, you would run book for the class. If you need an O, oh my gosh, Ranger. Sorry, dog almost knocked over my camera. Apparently his ball got into the neighbor's backyard, so she brought it over. So there's people that live directly behind us, so our backyard is their front yard basically. Somehow his ball got in their yard, so she brought it back over, and now he's all excited because he hasn't seen his ball in a while. Anyways, okay, what was I saying? So if you need O, you only have to read one book for that class. If you need a Q, you read 2 books. If you need a D, you read all 3, and you have to read them. You don't have to read them in order, but to be able to pass the class, you have to get all the books read. So I'm just gonna try and read them in order because there's no point in reading, you know, reading the D prompt if I don't read the O prompt, you know? So the cool thing about the Beastmaster class and the herbology class is everything in herbology also needs to be taken. Everything that you need to take for herbology, you also need to take for Beastmaster. So pretty much herbology, you'll kind of get that done and then hopefully get Beastmaster. So at the end of the day, the hope is she'll at least get her degree in herbology because it's way easier to get the Beastmaster one. But of course, we're hoping for both. Okay, so I just have it written down on notebook here. I forgot to grab the little paper that tells me everything. I will put a picture here and here actually over my face. Here are the 2 classes that I'm taking. It tells you a little bit about it, and then I'm gonna zoom in And here are the prompts I need to take, or not the prompts, but the requirements I need to take for the classes. So for herbology, I need to get a Q in both alchemy and restoration. Okay, in alchemy, in the O class, O level, we are learning how to turn stone to copper. And so this prompt is to read the first book in a series. I'm choosing to read Life Support by Robert Whitlow. There we go. Okay, you guys will see that if you watch my Jurassic TBR, you will know that pretty much all, if not, or most, if not all these books I'm reading for both of them because I have some stuff going on in August and I just need time to not read a bunch of books. So yeah, I am going to be mashing them together as much as I can. Oh, the other thing is too, G said that you can literally just like add books, whatever you want. If this one book works for all your prompts, you can just read one book and you're golden. So I will be doubling up on some of the prompts. Anyways, this one is for first in series, silver to, or stone to copper. This is a Christian thriller. It is about a man who falls from a cliff and is put on life support, and basically he has people fighting over him onto whether or not to pull the plug, and everybody has their own opinions, or their own reasons. You got an unstable wife who wants to pull the plug to hide her secrets, a doting father who wants him alive for reasons of love and money, and conflicting legal documents that send the fight to court. And then you also have something to do with the music of an extraordinarily gifted church pianist. I don't know, but it's about this detective who basically is trying to figure out what the heck. She's trying to figure out what's going on. And I've had this on my TBR, my physical TBR for a long time. It sounds interesting. I'm gonna read it and see if I'm going to continue with the series or not. Okay, and then for Q, we're learning how to turn copper to stone. So copper to silver. So we learn stone to copper, copper to silver. And for this one, I have to continue a series. I'm choosing to read book 3 in the Dream Traveler's Quest, which is The Garden and the Serpent. This is by Ted Decker and Kara Decker. These are very adorable little middle grade or chapter books. I think it's more considered chapter book. Anyways, super adorable books about this young boy who gets transported to this magical world and is tasked on going on these different quests. And at the end of all of his quests, he will be forever free of fear because he's a very fearful child. And he deals with bullying and all sorts of different things. So again, book 3, can't really talk a whole lot about it other than I love this series so far. This takes place in the same world that the Circle series takes place in. If you guys know anything about Ted Decker's worlds, a lot of his books, I mean not his worlds, a lot of his books take place in the same universe. A lot like, Brandon Sanderson with the Cosmere. I don't know what his world is considered, or universe is considered, but these do take place and you do actually reference a lot of the characters from the original trilogy, which of course just makes my heart happy and is so nostalgic for it. Just really great little chapter books, but I'm excited to continue the series. Okay, now that is all I need for alchemy. Next, let's move on to restoration. I need a Q in restoration for my herbology class. Now, this one is a little different. There's not a specific book. It's more about how to read a book. So for O in restoration, we are learning how to induce sleep. And the prompt is to start a book before bed. The book I'm going to be starting before I go to bed is The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. This one, I think in my haul I recently just posted, I said this was about like friends a friend died in the past, and that's sort of true. But actually what happens is they were classmates and they were on a school trip and their bus like crashes into the river and a bunch of people die. There were 2 vans full of high school seniors. Yeah, 9 students managed to escape. A year later, one of the survivors died by suicide on the anniversary of the crash, and the rest of them make a pact to come together each year to commemorate that terrible night, to keep one another safe, to hold one another accountable, or both. So Megan Miranda does really good mystery thriller type books. I love everything that she has come out with so far, and I love reading thrillers at night, so this is the one I will pick up before bed. Then I have Q in Restoration, and that is we are learning how to relocate pain, and the prompt for this is to read a book in a different location each time you pick it up. And I decided to go ahead and read this one for that, The Garden and the Serpent. This will be super easy. I'll start it, get about halfway through, put it down for a little bit, go do something, come back, pick it up, sit in a different location, finish it, and there you go. Prompt is done. So if I complete that, if I read those 3 books and do them in the order or in the way that I talked about, then I will have completed my courses for herbology for the autumn equinox. Now, let's move on to the more important of the two, Beastmaster. So for Beastmaster, I have to get an O in alchemy, a Q in restoration, an O in environmental studies, and a D in animal studies, which means I have 7 prompts total for Beastmaster, 8 altogether when I include the alchemy. The only one that's different between the two is I need a Q in alchemy for herbology, and I only need an O for alchemy in Beastmaster. So as I said, I need an O in alchemy, which means I will read life support. That will be the prompt. If I read this, then alchemy is complete for Beastmaster. Then I need a Q in restoration, which again, I need that for herbology as well. So if I read these 2 books in the way I'm supposed to before bed and at a different location every time, that is also complete for Beastmaster. Now let's move on to the prompts we haven't talked about yet. Environmental studies, I need an O. And the class, or the thing we're learning about in environmental studies, is the element of earth. And so for this one, I have to read a book with earth in the title. I just realized I was like, ugh, in the camera. I'm like, okay, sit back a little bit. Like, enjoy having the chair that I can lean back and relax into, right? Okay, so for Earth, I'm going to lean over here so I can, here's the picture. I am going to be reading Earth Called, and this is by PC Cast. This is the 4th and, to my understanding, final book in the I think it's Moon Called series, which is a series about this young girl who lives, okay, how do I explain this series? It's a fantasy world, it has animal companions, and there's these different factors or different people groups, okay? You have the Earthwalkers, you have the Tree People, you have the Skinwalkers, you have the Cat People, there's a Horse People. I'm probably like not even saying what their actual names are correctly, but there's all these different factions of all these different people, right? And every faction has a different magical power, okay? So the main story is about this girl who, her mother was an Earthwalker and her father was a tree person. A son, something, I can't remember what they're called. And so she has kind of special powers from both groups, but basically has to hide her identity and hide the fact that she's basically mixed race, because this is a very racist society. There have been critiques about this series saying that, you know, the prediction or the saying that these books are racist, and I understand how that can be. Personally, I feel like that's the point. Like the author is trying to show the fact that, like, hey, this is wrong. We shouldn't treat people this way because of their skin color or whatever. But other people might find it more offensive. I don't know. I've just seen some reviews like that. I really enjoy this series. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into it than what I just explained. You basically, yeah, Mari ends up having to come into her own, come into her powers, and a whole lot of stuff happens, and over the course of the 4 books. We're finally getting to the end, and there's gonna be a big, I think, battle or war or something like that coming. So obviously puppy dog ears. And I am very, very excited to know what happens, because I did not know this was a quartet. I thought this was a trilogy. And so when I got to the end of book 3, I was like, what? You gotta be kidding. Thankfully, I only read these recently. Apparently the series has been out for a long time, and book 4 just got released this year. So thankfully I didn't have that long to wait. But yeah, it's called Earth Called, Earth obviously in the title, therefore reading this book. Moving on to the best classes ever, which are animal studies. So I need an a D, which means I have to read 3 books for animal studies. Our first one is O, and the class is Introduction to Domestic Creatures. This prompt is pet pick. So the books that I had Ranger pick from are the 3 books I've actually already shown you. These 3 right here. Again, I am doubling, tripling, doing everything I can to read as little amount of books as possible because I have a lot going on in August and I want to get them all done and complete. So I decided to go ahead and just have him pick one of these 3 books. And I will go ahead and insert a clip here and you will see which book Ranger ended up picking. So I have the 3 books here that he's going to choose from. Wait, Ranger, wait. And we'll see which one he gets. Okay. Hey, look up there. Which one do you want? Okay. The Garden and the Serpent it is. Okay, so as you guys saw, he picked this one, The Garden and the Serpent. Thankfully, it's very small. I mean, I gotta read all these anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, he picked this one, so this is what I'm reading for pet pick. I tried putting the books on a table this time to see if that would maybe change how he picks, because he seems to always beeline for the middle book. No matter what, he's like, I'm gonna pick the middle. And so I was like, maybe I can like mix him up a little bit and see if he'll pick a different one. No, he's still picking the middle. So I don't know. I'm trying not to put the book I want in the middle and like cheat, but at this point, I didn't care. I'm reading all 3 anyway, so this is the one he picked for that. The next prompt we have is Q. And the class is Dragon Chicken Hatching. So we're learning how to hatch dragon chickens. And the prompt for this is to read a debut book. So this one is a book I haven't talked about yet. It's not part of those 3. The book I'm going to be reading, hopefully reading, if I can get it from the library in time, is In the Woods by Tana French. This is book 1 in the Dublin Murder Squad series. I know this is a very beloved, popular series, detective novel about a female detective trying to really stand her ground and work in basically what is considered, you know, a man's job situation, you know, a very male dominated field. So this one I'm going to hopefully read. Like I said, I'm waiting for it for the library. It should be in time, but if not, I'm sure I can find another debut somewhere that I can read. But this is the one I'm planning on reading. I know there's a TV series that came out. I really want to watch the TV series, but I really wanted to read the book first and kind of get an idea of the characters and all that before I jump into the TV series. I think this is like a super long series, but this was her debut, so this is the one I'm going to read for that prompt. Okay, and the very last prompt that I have to fulfill is D in Animal Studies, and the class is Bicorn Wolf Care, which apparently a bicorn wolf is like a wolf with 2 horns. A goat wolf? I don't know, a bicorn wolf, or would it be a unicorn? But yeah, so bicorn. Okay, wow, that is very self-explanatory. Okay, anyways, the prompt for this is to read a book in 2 days. Once again, I am going to be picking The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. I'm pretty sure I can get this done in 2 days. I can usually, especially listening to audiobook, I can usually fly through my thrillers. I'm gonna be starting this before bed, so I'll listen to like an hour or 2 before bed, put it away, and then most likely finish it the next day. So therefore it'll be finished in 2 days. That is the plan. That is what I'm going to be doing for that. G also did say that if you need to, for whatever reason, adjust these prompts to fit you, like if you're unable to complete a book in 2 days, or you have a disability, or not even just a disability, but just a reason why you can't do a certain prompt, you're totally free to interpret the prompt how you feel and change it up if need be. She's very, very open with this. It's very, very loose. It's just about having fun. And I know that in the past she's done things on Twitter. I think she said that they might do Discord. I can't remember. But anyways, go check out her channel. Everything you need to know is down there. So that is that. So here are the physical books that I will be reading for the Orilium Academy August Equinox. Yes, that's cool. That's what it's called. And then of course, like I said, I have Earth Called and Into the Woods, or in the Woods. I keep wanting to say Into the Woods, but it's just In the Woods. So those are all of the books that I'll be reading for my classes, or that Freya will be reading for her classes. Yeah, get in character, you know? So I'm really excited. I think I have a good mix of books here. It's always super, super fun. There's always live stream and like sprints and different challenges and all that. So please do go check out her channel. Check out all of her videos. She's amazing. Incredibly talented when it comes to this kind of stuff. Blows my mind. But yeah, I'm very excited to be participating in this year. And I don't know what else to say, guys, besides Orilium Magical Readathon is happening. I'm so excited. Okay. Oh, I did forget to tell you, the class that Freya did not complete in the spring was something about gold. I can't remember exactly, but she needs to read Witches Steeped in Gold to complete that. If she reads that, if I read that, then it's complete. So I guess that's another one I gotta pop on here. So I forgot I actually technically have this one as well to read because I did not get to this in the spring. Of course, I don't have to read it. There's no like rules or anything, but I'm trying to keep up. So if with that being the case, then this is the physical pile. That just looks a whole heck of a lot bigger, but I'm excited. These should be good books. These two are already on my regular TBR, so no big deal. And yep, that is all the books. Officially, plus the 2 audiobooks. Okay, I'm gonna go because my brain is confused. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you want to see more videos by me. And I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.